What's crackin' Eggheads? This is Ashleigh, founder of the indie educational video game studio Electric Egghead, and I'm on the fourth month of Thomas Brush's Start a Game Studio in 12 Months challenge. And for the fourth month, you learn code, and I'm learning the basics of C++. This is day 27, and so let's just get started. All right, so I am working on Mike Dane's 4-hour challenge. He's the founder of Giraffe Academy, and I'm going to be learning how to do exponents using C++. All right, so the previous day, let's just say the previous day, I created the exponent function, and so I'll be creating, learn how to make exponents using the power like function in C++. Okay, so let me just do a quick check real fast. Make sure this is recording, which it is. Okay, cool. So let's keep going. All right. All right. So I have declared my exponent func, and I have called my exponent func in my main, and now at the bottom underneath my main I'm going to define the exponent func. Alright, so cool. I'm watching this tutorial on my phone, so I'll be looking down once in a while. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you are working on your dreams. You're defining them, you're clarifying them, and you're just you're just working at it every day, even if it's a little bit. So this is only going to be a 20-minute video. Well, I'm still learning. Okay. Let me go back a little bit. Okay. And this will just take a number and put it to a specific power. So like 2 squared is 2 times 2. This will be 3 to the 4th power. Oh, I missed my first curly bracket. There we go. So this exponent function takes two arguments. So it's going to send these two variables throughout whenever I call it or whenever I look at it. Okay, so I'm gonna just put this int base num, int pow num in my declaration, and then I'm gonna call these, and I'm gonna define what these numbers are when I call the function. So I'm just gonna say to the user, cout new line, and let's see, character names, there we go, oops. exponent. Wants to know her age. Powered. Wants to know her age. Wants to know her age when you use exponents. Okay. Alright. Her age is. Then I want to take in. Oops, sorry. In means greater than. You have greater. Take in the boss age, and I already have this variable down later. So actually, let me see. I can actually tie this to a previous function. Let me just look it up in my preview area. Let's see. Here it is. So I took it in right here, and then I cubed the age. So I'm actually going to put this exponent func down here where I called it. Okay. So our cubed age is this, and then this is what I'm going to call the exponent func. So let me just call it down here, where I've already taken the boss's age. Alright, so exit. Oh, I got the wrong thing. Control Z to undo. Let me grab this entire part, push Control X to cut it, and then I'm just going to paste it down lower. Let me see. Where is it? Here it is. Alright, no, too far. Alright, here we go. So this is the boss cubed function. It takes in the boss age. So I'm going to call it outputs the boss cubed, which takes in the boss age. So, use exponents, her age is, okay. So that part is already done. We just finish this part and semicolon. Now, then I'm going to call the exponent func and take in the boss's age here. All right. Oops. So this just means that I only called one of the arguments right here. I called the boss age, which I didn't put in the declaration. So int base num. This is going to be the boss's age, which I think is actually a double. It is. Alright, so this is going to take in the double boss age. And that's going to be my base num. And then I'm going to power the boss's age, or take the exponent. I'm just actually going to name mine a little bit differently than Mike, because I want mine to actually match with my previous code. And one thing I'm trying to do is keep my code really consistent. I watched a YouTube video, Clement something, Clement M on YouTube, and he's talking a lot about consistency, keeping the code consistent. So I use camel case, which is where you start the first word lowercase, and then the second and every other word after the first word is all begins with the uppercase letter. So I have exponent func, lowercase, uppercase, lowercase, uppercase, etc., etc. And that's camel case naming structure, to make sure everything is consistent. And what I do with my code, and I'm a beginner, but what I do is I have my functions by what kind of variable they return. So I have all the ints here, and all the doubles here, and all the bools here. And then I have a string, then void. And so they all just kind of go together just to keep it consistent. So yeah, that helps me make my code a bit more consistent, easier to read. It's easier to go back and know what I was talking about. For instance, this is of course a segue, but like for my task list, I have a to do, and then I have to do, something to do, like that. And then I did to do research this code. I'm sorry, not this code, this error message. And so I just gave myself a link. So I know what the error message is, because when I go to this link, I am going to just read more about it. Or I have in my task list to do, add data validation to the boss age. So I just check to make sure that they put in at least, she's at least, you know, let's say she's at least, 16 or something. Perhaps the boss is like a wonder kid or something. So yeah, and then like if you're gonna put a to do for later, you want to be very clear on what it is to do. To do, like you don't want to put to do. Like for instance, Clement gave this example of some programmer who did like to do complete this, or to do very important. But like then it's like, he was saying that it's, to do what are you doing, or why is it important, or what's going to happen if it breaks. So I'm trying to make sure that my code is easier to, I know what to do later. Like I try to think about in the future, will I have any idea what I was supposed to do here? Like, so because I'm going to be writing lots of code, so I definitely want to leave good documentation to do what? To do add data validation. So I have that to do. Or either I have to do, and this will be the last little to do part, I put earlier, to do research curly brace initialization, and then I left myself a link, and I put it in a multi-line comment section. So this whole section will be commented out, and the compiler won't break trying to run this to do code. So yeah, and it has this cool little dotted lines. Okay, so with that said, consistency. If you have more than one word, I just use camel case. There's also snake case, but I don't know what that is. I'm just gonna go with camel case. Okay. Anyway, so let's keep going. All right. So I have declared up here the exponent func, which returns an int. It's gonna take the double. A double, which is the boss's age, so they can be like 34.2 for whatever reason that the boss would want to put like the decimal point. Maybe they love numbers. And then it also takes in the POW age, or the age when it's powered. Oh no. Actually, I will put that back to powered. No, that makes more sense. Okay, so let me go back to where I called my function in the main. So, and here's where it's easy to find right now because I have an error. I have an error, and my preview menu is showing me a red rectangle because there's an error. So I defined the boss's age, but I also have to define the POW number, because I have to call it and then send it the same things that I set up when I declared it at the top. All right, so now I need to take in the POW num. All right, so is that right? It's something like that with the exponent. No, I think this is okay. Wants to know her age when you use exponents. So okay. All right, so we have her age. What does she enter the power number? There we go. All right, so then I take in, cin gives you greater, gives you more. So then I'm taking the POW num, and this will identifier POW num is undefined. Oh, right. I never actually declared this thing. I never actually declared the polynomial anywhere. So double boss age. I'm also gonna do an int polynomial. Alright, there we go. And that fixed it. Okay, so now that we have that, we've taken in those two things. You've taken the polynomial. And then we will go down to where I'm going to define the exponent func, and then I'm going to do all the math. So let's do this. Cool. Oh, I'll put result. And result equals 1. Alright, so with Mike, he said we're going to make this simple, and we're just going to make that polynomial, it can only be a positive number. That the exponent can only be positive. Alright. So we're going to make a for loop. Okay, so our for loop is gonna do three different things. But just before I explain that, let me fix this, because again, this doesn't match with what I said earlier. It says +1 overload. That means what happened is I declared it with two arguments, the boss age and the polynomial, and then I called it in the main and said, oh, it takes a boss age and it takes a polynomial. But look at when I went to go define it underneath my main, there's no boss age. I never grabbed those two variables. So let me do that real quick. So let me do double boss age, camel case, and int polynomial, and that should fix this error message. And there it did. And what happened is these two variables are being called from my main. So where I actually grabbed them. Alright, so then that fixed this problem, because the functions need to be consistent throughout the entire program. Alright, so I'm hitting up on the 20-minute mark. I will go until 5 o'clock, and then I'm going to end this video, and I will just keep going and do another video. Alright, so let me just finish this, and this video will be done. We'll have the basic exponent function done. So now, anyway, let me go back real quick. So we have a for loop, and it has to do three things. It has to start a variable, which we said was an integer called I, and we set it to 0. So this for loop starts at 0, and then this is how many times the for loop repeats. So we want we want this function to loop until I is less than the power num. So according to Mike Dane, if the power num is 3, this will loop until it hits that 3. It hits less than the 3. It hits. Yeah, that should be right. Go back. Yeah. And this area is called a looping condition or a loop guard. Okay, so this will loop how many times the polynomial is. So if it's 3 times, then it'll loop through 3 times. He has less than, but it should be less than or equal to it. Less than the polynomial? And let's go with that. I'm gonna assume he knows what he's doing because I'm pretty sure he does. Yeah. So if I wanted to loop through 3 times, then it'll loop through 3 times. And then I want to increment I so I can keep track of how many times the loop has happened. Alright, so I'm actually going to end this video here because I'm at the 20-minute mark, and we will continue later. Alright, again, my name is Ashleigh. I'm the founder of Electric Egghead, an indie educational video game studio, and I hope you're having a great day and a great morning or evening or whenever you're watching this. I hope you just believe in yourself and know that you can do it. And thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Leave any questions in the comments below. I will try to answer them as quickly as possible. Maybe send you some links. So yeah, have a great day. Later.